actually just got off the phone with a very good friend and colleague and mentor and just all around amazing woman, Maria, who is getting to enjoy the nice cool weather happening down in Florida while I enjoy the nice cooler weather up here in Tennessee. So she brought up a phrase, a lesson, a story of Thich Nhat Hanh that emphasizes the notion we can find happiness in any moment. That the conditions of happiness exist at all times. Now, other teachings that are similar to this is finding the blessing in this moment, seeing or looking for something that brings you happiness, embracing the little things, counting your blessings, and practicing gratitude. It's all the different ways that we can simply find, locate, discover what Thich Nhat Hanh said, the conditions of happiness, and how they exist in each moment. So take, for instance, I was about to say, what I do in the morning with sunrise, but that maybe is more easily seen as, yes, well, that sunrise, that gorgeous sky just, shows you the presence of the divine. However you understand the divine. If you're Christian, you just know God by seeing that sunrise. But what about in other moments? What about when the world is on fire or your life seems to be? And so the trick is to remember this when that state hits. And it is training. It is training the mind to do it. I am absolutely not an expert. I do shut down at times. I get frustrated. And it can take me a few days, a few weeks, sometimes even a couple months to get back to where I start finding those little things. And sometimes it's just a matter of choosing to say, hey, I need to take this moment. Yesterday with Mike and I just sitting outside with Julius, and it was just these blissful seconds, these blissful moments. I have somebody who's going to want to drive a lot faster than me behind me on a road where the speed limit is 45. There isn't really a way for me to let him pass me easily. I'm trying to think where the first place is because I don't want to drive as fast still have one of the leaves that fell that day. Right, driving along, I'm seeing leaves on the road. So many different moments in time I can think of. So in this sense, I'm looking at something that's happening right now that can recall a moment of happiness in the past. Okay, so we're recalling something, but what if we want something more than that? So, driving around, I can merely look at the colors, like up ahead, and I don't know, yeah, you should be able to see in the video. There's this beautiful orange tree that's like standing out from the other trees, and it's just pretty. You know, not thinking about a memory or recalling any other orange tree or red tree, just looking at that tree and saying it makes me smile. Pure and simple. Nothing more. I can look and say, all these different colors just make me smile. They're pretty. I look out and I can say, you know, wow, I love all the different colors that are happening, and it's like fall just happened overnight here in this area. Trees went from green to that slight hint of yellow or mustard green to now being all these different colors. Alright, so what's something else I can look at? What about the blue sky? You know, you can look at a cloud and be like, hey, that cloud looks like, well, not many clouds in the sky right this moment. You can pull on as an example. Actually, if I go up to my left, there is. So it's not going to be in the video, but there's this one cloud over to the left that kind of looks like, I don't know, sort of like a sea monster. I know, but just saying that it looks like that kind of makes me laugh. And laughter is that moment of happiness. One of the conditions we can think of for happiness is a little bit of a laughter. I could look at that leaf falling and just think it's kind of cute and funny. You can also imagine something for that moment. Imagine what it would be like to be standing under a leaf waterfall, all of these different leaves, not too strong, just like laughing and tickling as they fall. And you might be like, oh man, I want to be there, I want to experience that. Well, there's something in your experience right now that I'm sure I would love to experience. Like right this minute, the idea of sitting at the beach with some waves crashing sounds absolutely marvelous. To be able to be at the Thai Temple down in Tampa sounds absolutely wonderful. So it's not getting to the point of saying, well, I don't have the full experience. It's saying, what can I experience right now? What are the conditions around me? You know, even when I dislike, you know, certain aspects of my job right now, I can also explain all the things I do like and love. You know, there's something about taking a blanket out of the dryer and it just is so warm and soft, and it's like this little moment of bliss. These moments exist every day. Even for, you know, as Maria mentioned, even the person in the refugee camp, even the person ... has these moments. And sometimes these moments turn into really big, amazing things. And there are forms of music we have today. A lot of different forms of music, actually. A lot of different songs and artists that we only have because they took that moment of bliss and sung about it, where they took their pain, their suffering, and said, I want to experience a moment of bliss out of this. You know, I tend to enjoy when I am teaching in person or have an in-person class the time when we get to Judaism, we listen to the Ashkenazi music because so much of it sounds upbeat and positive and makes you want to jump or dance or move around. But then sometimes with some of the music, when you listen and you understand the roots, the background of it, it's like they're really sad. They were being oppressed. Anti-Semitism. All these different things were happening, and yet they found, even in those moments, that moment of bliss. And it's just like finding that sense of creativity when you're trying to figure out how to get out of the problem you're in. This is part of that self-care. Finding the conditions that will bring about more of those moments. Or to find those moments within the conditions that you currently are experiencing. You're stuck in traffic. Is there anything around you? Is there anything you can do to experience something nice? Maybe there's an ocean off to the side. Maybe there's a park. Maybe there's a tree. Maybe there's a song on the radio you can listen to. Maybe there's just something you can think in regards to the day you are having. And it's not, yes, please do your gratitude list, your blessings list, your etc. lists. But also just be in that moment for a bit without trying to be. And I know that being and trying to be gets all flip-flop, mixed, matched around. But I know a butt is what you sit on. So sit on that butt now. I think one of the things, and this just goes to the more recent video, one of the things that's problematic about advice is knowing how to take it. So yeah, I know I'm supposed to find this moment of joy, this moment of happiness, but man, oh man, you just don't get it. You don't know what's going on. No, I don't, unless you tell me. You don't want to hear about it. Nobody wants to know. All it's going to do is make me more frustrated. Okay, so how do we make you a little less frustrated? You know, the song, you know, how can I make you see life more grand? It's grand. There's got to be a way. And maybe my first suggestion, my second suggestion, maybe my third suggestion is all wrong. But I'm pretty sure if you're willing to keep going, and if we're both creative, we can figure it out. I really think that's possible. I think we can find some happiness, man. I really do. Now, somewhere around here is a laundromat. Well, there should be a laundromat. I may have already passed it because I feel like it was back further. Oh, there it is. Oops, and if I can still make it. Alright, I can turn in this one. There we go. And I think I can get back to the other lot, or can I? Dun, 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 dun. And the answer is no. I cannot get over to that lot from this lot. And I'm driving the wrong direction around the building. And trying to find out if I can. Okay. Well, rather than have you go on this little journey with me, I am going to stop and say I will talk with you all later.